Welcome back to Basement Video Podcast. Alex, it's been a while. You haven't
Come on, John.
It's been a while, huh?
Just let it be natural like how it was last time. It's been a while.
Take off your pants.
All right, fine.
Andrew's choking on his drink.
He's actually dying right now, guys. This is great.
Andrew, if you're not choking, stop choking. See? You just got to remind him that he's fine.
Listen, it's all that placebo effect, you know?
The placebo?
I said
placebo.
I didn't say that.
I literally thought you were going to say
definitely sounded like it.
It's all
That's all the placebo.
You gotta stop thinking about pussy, okay?
Quit putting on the pussy piddle.
The pussy-do.
If you think there's pussy, then there is pussy in front of you. That's how it works.
There's a cat right there.
See?
Cat there.
Exactly. But yeah, it has been a while. Like I think like the last time we actually did like a video together was like the Christmas one.
Yeah, where we
That was that was so much fun, by the way. Like that gift that you guys got.
that's a yearly thing now. Even if we're not
That gift you guys got me.
That wasn't you guys, that was Amanda. Amanda got you that.
I thought you said you like helped her get the.
We helped her find it, but she knew what she was getting you.
Yeah.
She just didn't know where to get it, and then we saw it.
Okay.
Well, we kind of all did play a part in it.
I feel like we all did for most of everyone's gifts, though.
For people who didn't watch that video, we had like a Secret Santa this Christmas, and Amanda got me
A bunch of Japanese food.
Yeah.
I really liked that. It was very thoughtful. Not gonna lie, tried half of it and threw the rest out.
Why? What was wrong with
All of it was just disgusting.
What was it? What'd you eat?
I ate the one that was really good was I think it was like the pretzel with like chocolate filling.
Oh, the
inside.
pretzel sticks?
That was
or the
yeah.
breadsticks with chocolate? Or whatever?
Those are good.
The pokies or whatever they're called?
Yeah, and then there was the one that was like they're like little tiny like cereal versions of that. It's just-
Yeah.
that was good.
Hey, what about the stuff in the bear?
Yeah, that I didn't even try.
Wasn't that just like
just
Jello?
Jello stuff, yeah.
Yeah, was it good?
I never tried it. I don't put Jello stuff on anything.
You don't have to put it on anything. You put it in your mouth.
You
Oh.
just eat it.
Jello's not a topper.
Oh, I never tried. No, I didn't try those yet. Actually, I wasn't sure what the heck they were really.
It's just Jello.
Jello.
And
You got a base.
the sodas were actually pretty good. Not that bad actually.
The Magikarp one?
No, actually the Trunks one was the better one of the other two.
I liked when I had those, I would mix them with like vodka or something.
Well, I would see
It was
them
good.
at the game stores like Game MD. There was like the one that was like
They're way more expensive there, though.
the Mega Man like canister
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
That one
yeah.
was really cool, and I kind of want to try that. There's the one where it's like the Street Fighter energy drinks, like the one Ken and Ryu, like
or the
all
one-up Marios.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I've always been curious about like what those things would actually taste, and
What
the
did it-
Magikarp one was really disgusting. Like that was.
I have that one in my fridge. I haven't drank it yet.
It's terrible. I don't know. Maybe you might like it. You have different taste buds than
What's
I do.
it taste like?
It's like
What's the flavor? I don't remember.
it's supposed to be strawberry or something, but it's like it's not even like strawberry. It's like
It's like that really artificial strawberry
it's
flavor.
so yeah, like it's like fake as fuck, and it was like I couldn't even finish it. I took one sip.
I
and
really don't like that strawberry flavor.
Yeah.
Like every strawberry
drink.
vape
Yeah, or
tastes
that,
like that, and I hate it.
so I dumped that, and then I had the Trunks one, and the Trunks one was just
Wasn't that like white grape or
it's,
something like
yeah,
that?
it was just plain old energy, like
They're not energy drinks, none of them.
they're soda. Yeah, well, I guess
They're
you
all
can't-
just carbonated water.
Yeah.
With flavor.
So don't get the Magikarp one. That one's ass. Trunks is pretty good though, so get that one.
Andrew, you want to get the Magikarp for me in the back of the fridge? I'll try it right now.
All right.
Top shelf, back of the fridge. So you say it's shit, huh?
I say it's shit.
I'm going to try it right now. Live.
You always do this. I always say something shit, and you're like, I think you just have to have a certain.
No, I'll probably hate it too, to be honest. I don't know.
He got angry one day.
Be careful when you get it, I guess.
If you can't, it's really sticky everywhere.
What'd you do to it?
Oh, it's lychee.
What does that mean?
That's the fruit,
Oh.
John, you like lychee, don't you?
usually. Oh, this is...
Oh yeah, it's one of the. Yeah, it was very weird. Yeah.
It's a classic pull tab pop.
Don't let your cat swallow that.
It smells good. You want to try it?
No, I don't like lychee. Is it bad? Yeah.
It has a good aftertaste, but it tastes like literally just cold pee. Like the aftertaste is real good right now, But like when you sip it, it's literally just cold pee.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Like I really like the aftertaste. I'm probably gonna keep drinking it.
Really? Okay, I think I just.
But the taste initially is horrible.
I think the pee thing was just like, okay, I don't even care.
It might also be bad because it's been in my fridge. I think it opened literally when we were in the car when I bought it, and I just put it in the fridge.
Oh, that explains why the can was all.
Yeah, I think it was like cracked or
so
popped
it's
or
open
something.
and all the fizz is out, and you're saying it tastes better now?
Literally cold pee.
Is there fizz?
No.
Yeah, it was definitely opened.
Well, it leaked on top.
Oh.
There was shit on top. Anyways, Magikarp. Q-Dole is the brand.
And also, besides all that Japanese stuff, she bought me the the Inspector Gadget McDonald's collection where you get the arms, the legs, the chest.
I'm literally buying that because I saw yours.
It's so they don't make stuff like that
Some
anymore.
guy I trade toys with has them all in their package. And I was like, yeah, I want those.
they just really don't make. I feel like nothing is like how they used to. No one puts any heart and soul.
Because you're not allowed to market to kids the same way you were allowed in the 80s and 90s.
Why? Yeah, you know how
because it's like I don't know.
They don't want kids.
Have imagination.
No, they don't want kids to just eat only McDonald's.
They don't make the toys as crazy, so they.
So it's like they don't. Oh, I have.
They do the same with most like young kid cartoons now too. They have to have some sort of educational value.
I always assume that like companies
Yeah.
are just becoming more evil nowadays, so they're trying really.
Well, they
hard.
just find different ways.
Oh. Like especially with like video game companies with like the whole like if you want like the skin or if you want this cool thing then you're gonna buy the.
That's actually evil.
Literally,
they're just
I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this, but the people who made Fortnite literally looked in like researched what's addicting about different types of games and then put it all in one game to make it addicting. So like you have to do all this stuff because you're addicted.
Fortnite's like something else because like now it's like we need to have like all these like Avengers came on with Endgame. Let's have Thanos be in the game now.
Well, that's how you get people. You get the most popular shit and put it in the game for that season.
Exactly.
It's kind of nuts that Fortnite's that big that they can just do that. Like
it's a free game, but it makes the most money.
Who was the guy? Who was that rapper that had that live concert in their game?
Travis Scott.
What was the? Do you guys remember what was the drama between that? Like he apparently like backed down on the game or something like that, and they because he had like his own like signature dance in the game that got removed too or something like that.
No, that's not why it got removed. It got removed because he had this concert where a bunch of people died. It was last year. We talked about it on the podcast.
It was like in September or something.
What do you mean, like died? Like how? Like
they sold the ticket. Like there was 20,000 tickets sold, but 50,000 people showed up, and no one was like shooing them away.
Yeah,
and there were so many people in the crowd, and he was like, "Move forward, and it's like they were just pushing people against, and like people were dying in the crowd. And
what?
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of satanic themes and stuff with the concert.
So
and
like,
stuff.
there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it.
Yeah. We talked about it on
Basement Talk.
Basement Talk.
Okay, then I had no idea. I'm gonna stay away from the Fortnite then.
It wasn't the concert in Fortnite.
I know, but
so many avatars died.
The Fortnite thing was like...
Can you imagine?
That was during the first lockdown.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the first lockdown. That was when I first got my Switch.
Yeah. Can you imagine you sold 20,000 tickets, but like 50,000 people show. Like it's like Patrick when he comes home, he's like, "Who are you people?"
So today,
what movie did we watch? You fuck.
I didn't tell them. We're talking about 2 movies today, and I said I'll surprise them in the video. Which one we're talking about?
It's like the most random movies that you could probably. Well,
they're not random. Well,
one of them is. Well, I don't know. Whatever. Fuck you.
Fuck me. We're gonna talk right now about the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love that movie.
No, you didn't.
I should have saved that one for last.
I enjoyed that.
Or do a double feature.
Oh no.
I've never enjoyed hating a movie so much because it's such a piece of shit.
This movie was horrible.
Yeah,
I've seen it before, but Andrew was the first watch for Andrew.
You should have seen Andrew's face. It was just like pure, like someone was taking.
I couldn't tell if he was just tired or pissed or both, and I think it was both.
I think it was both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. But I wasn't really pissed. I was just tired.
Like you looked like a dad trying to like sit through his son's ballet recital. Like,
well, it was like 4 a.m. and we were trying to watch Super Mario Bros. Movie. So
we did this pretty late. We just. We watched the movie before this one, and it's like 4 a.m, and we're like, all right, time to watch Super Mario Bros. At 4 a.m.
Yeah, and it was rough. Like if it was like 1 p.m. and I was feeling pretty good, it would be an okay movie. But at 4 a.m, you're already tired and like ready to go home.
I think the problem is we weren't drunk watching this movie. I think we were.
I don't think that would help.
What about? I mean, you were high probably too.
Usually,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It didn't make any difference.
Oh my god! But this movie was an absolute mess.
Are we just gonna go with gripes first before we go into the details?
Well, let's talk a little bit about like the movie. Like, what was the first thing that happened that confused us right off the bat? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a random queen dropping off a baby at a church. Spoiler though, the baby's an egg and a fucking like it's just.
They had it in like an incubator or something because that was a weird
it was
thing.
it was incubated.
The crystal that they were after the whole movie like locked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
It's
At first we thought it was the Mario Brothers, and we're like, "What the fuck?"
Well, you said it was the brothers, and I'm like,
I forgot all about that the Daisy character. To be honest, I forgot that her character was from the Koopa Kingdom.
I thought it was Peach. I thought it was supposed to be Princess Peach, but then
Well, that's the thing. Daisy has brown hair. They made the main character have blonde hair, so you think it's Peach, but it's Daisy.
Yeah.
and so
Mario's dating some girl named Daniela, not Peach.
So
not
not
Pauline.
even related to the
She
game.
kind of looks like Pauline or whatever her name was from the original Donkey Kong game, but her name's Daniela.
So the movie starts off really fucking weird, where it's like this, not even CG, it's like a shitty cartoon. You know, Jurassic Park.
It's
when
like computer animated cartoon, but it's really bad.
Like, do you remember Jurassic Park when they had like, where the guy was like had like a little like DNA like mascots showing him how they got the DNA from the mosquito, and it's like a cartoon. This is like after that movie, and it's like even worse.
Yeah, this came out the same year as Jurassic Park.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like this movie it cost $51 million to make this movie, so they had like no reason to like make it as shit as it was.
In '93, that's a lot. I feel.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It cost 51 to make it, and they only made 21, so not even like half their money. Like, yeah.
You know what vibes I got? No, remember that movie I showed you, the Adventures in Dinosaur City?
Yeah.
This movie gave me those vibes.
I can understand
just
that.
like because the way the Koopas looked and the dinosaurs in the movie looked.
The reason why those Koopas...
But that movie probably cost $10,000 to make.
So the reason why they went with like the whole like shrunken head Koopa is just because like when they made the movie originally, they liked the idea that it was going to be
like the Goombas?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Goombas,
okay.
yeah.
So when they had those shrunken heads, it was like mostly because they originally like when they were making this movie, they kind of like liked the idea that was Super Mario, but like more of a dark and gritty kind of like themed. And so, but then they realized the more that they made it, it was like almost like less like a kids movie, and so they had to like.
Well, they literally used the whole set in the Koopa Kingdom is literally just the set from Blade Runner. They
because do you know the guy that made that set is where he worked on Blade
He worked
Runner.
on both, but they literally just took that set and added like the Mario world.
It's literally like
stuff to it.
Yeah, it's almost like just straight up like a set from Blade Runner. But they made them shrunk like that because they're like, oh fuck, that's right, this is a kids movie. This is like getting too dark, so they made them heads like that to look stupid, just to be like, haha.
Why aren't they mushrooms though?
Yeah.
Why aren't they mushrooms?
Because the theme was so this script for this movie was written and changed 6 times during its filming, and so it's actually insane how many people they went through. And how many different stories...
And what they went with.
Yeah. One of them, a writer who made... I could be wrong. There was a writer who made the story for Rayman, and his story was going to be supposed to be like these two brothers had like a deep their deep connection, and they're gonna have like they're gonna grow together as a family while they're trying to solve this like Koopa case or whatever. And they're like, nah, we don't like that because it's too close to another movie that you made. And so he kept that script actually to make what did he make really quick? Just gonna check.
I'm reading right now in the notes Alex wrote, and Danny DeVito and Tom Hanks were considered for candidates as the Mario Brothers.
So
Danny DeVito as Mario.
No, Luigi. Tom Hanks is
That would have been better, yeah.
It would have been so funny.
Well, the thing was, Tom Hanks actually accepted the role to be Mario, but because he was like, he was just starting to be an actor, he's
been an actor for a while, but he wasn't anything huge at that point.
He was asking $5 million to be an actor in this movie, and they thought he wasn't worth the money. so they didn't go
because he was
with
in
him.
Splash and Big and stuff like that in the 80s.
Danny DeVito was supposed to. They wanted to do Danny.
They were
DeVito.
both pretty big in 1993. Both those actors.
Danny DeVito was huge, so he read the script and he just didn't like it, so he turned down the role. And then
Smart move.
Yeah, smart move. And then what was funny was the guy who played Luigi.
He's been in a lot of things after that.
He thought for sure that this movie was going to be a success. That he turned down the role of a sitcom of his actual real life.
Yeah.
Because he thought that he was going to be too good for that. So I bet he's regretting that.
He's been in a lot of things since then. I can't tell you what, but he was in The Pest. Remember The Pest movie? He was that movie also wasn't very successful, but it's like a cult classic.
And so, what was another thing that I was going to
He was just in something we watched. I don't remember, though.
I'm not really too sure. I'm just trying to think of, like, what was another point that I was trying to lead up to. Was that,
You were
like,
looking up what the script was.
yeah, but...
So how much did Nintendo actually have a hand in this?
Okay, funny thing, Nintendo greenlit this movie because they didn't even care about if it was going to be... They just were like... Because Mario at the time was like
huge,
he
the
was
biggest
big
video
and
game.
everyone knew who Mario was. He was the most well-known video game character of history. And so when Nintendo greenlit the movie, they didn't care about the money. It was more... Because they already, like, you already saw that they made like a 90-minute commercial of the movie The Wizard, right? For their Super Mario 3 game.
3.
So they were like, good, like whatever, was just like, this is an experiment to them. And so they sold the rights to make this movie for only $2 million. Can you imagine selling the rights to make a Super Mario movie for only $2 million?
Yeah, that's crazy. Especially nowadays,
Yeah.
it'd probably be like a $1 billion project.
Yeah.
So because they thought that like because it's like usually that thing where it's like Mario is too big to fail pretty much. You know what I mean? Like
which
you can't fuck
They
this
proved
up.
they didn't.
Yeah. And so when they sold the rights for $2 million, the people they had an agreement that said the studio what was it? Limited. What was the studio's name?
Light Motive.
Yeah, something stupid. Leitmotiv. They agreed that like, okay, we'll buy it for $2 million, and then you guys have all the rights to like any merchandise.
Mhm.
And
I think they did Toy Line.
yeah, they had you had all the rights to merchandise, toy line, and you had all the power to change like how to make this movie, pretty much. And so
They're just like, yeah, we're gonna forego that power. We don't want any changes.
the thing was like by the time like everything was just wrong. They changed so many directors. Like that was the thing I was trying to lead up. One of the directors had a script that was like there was Princess Peach, and it was supposed to be that Mario and Luigi did end up in the Koopa City, but it was supposed to be like the actual mushroom.
Koopa City?
Yeah, it was like the actual like Mushroom City.
That's what I don't get though, because there was already 2 different Mario cartoons that were pretty fucking awesome.
Were they?
They were good, like the cartoons with the live action guys, and
Like
then they
the-
would go into the cartoons.
Were they good?
They were good because
I
it was
thought-
actually in the Mushroom Kingdom. They were actually doing shit that they would be doing.
Oh, because I thought no one cared because like no one even like talks about it. Or, like there wasn't
People
that many
like those.
Yeah, I don't know. I never saw them when I was a kid.
They were only on it early in the morning because they were already done when we were
What
like
what
that
station or
age.
program aired it? It wasn't like
I don't remember because it was like when I literally was like 3 to 5 when I saw it on TV.
Then again, we had like different like we had YTV and Teletoons is a Canadian like sort of like
Yeah, but I don't even think it was on that. I think it was on like normal, like like when you would wake up at like 6 for school, or if you're going on
Yeah.
a vacation early, they would be on it like CBS or like a random channel just early in the morning for kids.
well, I love YTV. Do you remember like just like watching those like it would be the 2 hosts and then like I remember
Sugar, what up,
Sugar.
Sugar? Shout out to Sugar.
She's on TikTok.
Oh, I know, dog.
I started following her.
I follow her and Phil. Remember Phil? He was the earlier one.
Do you
And
remember
Carlos.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Do you remember Phil though? The cool like
I do.
Filipino guy with the ponytail.
Yeah.
Vaguely like that's the thing is like
I watched this TikTok he posted. It was like a cut or something that they couldn't cut because it was live, and he made like I think like a cum joke or a fucking someone joke, but by accident. Like, because he was talking about, remember the TV that would talk to him? Because back then it was just him and the TV that talked, not 2 hosts.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the reboot toy that came out, and they had it in their hands. It was like his car.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, oh, look, you can get here, and the TV can be girls in the back. And now he likes it from the back. And they're like, anyway, reboot's next. And then it cuts. He's like, oh, fuck, sorry. He's like, that just came out.
I just I think the one memory I have with those guys, the hosts, was the strongest one that I can think of was they had like this whole, You know, like how every once in a while, TV hosts will have like a special like event where it's just like in between shows to be like, stay tuned to see what happens to the your favorite cast host or whatever. They had something like that where some sort of like
Was it Sugar and Carlos era?
It's something
That's mainly our era.
What happened was it was those two, and they had a mascot or a sidekick, and it was literally just a hand. Do you remember that?
I remember the TV and that blobby thing.
Yeah,
So,
I remember TV and a ball.
I have to rewatch. I have to find out what it was because I remember this vividly, but I don't know the like. It's just so. After like a show was done, you would see the host and they'd be like, "Whoa, what do you think about that, kids?" or something like that.
Yeah, they talk about it.
And it's like, guess what? We got fan mail. So out of this like tube, this pipe would come a hand, and the hand would just have like fan letters from like the kids or whatever, and that's just like, "Oh, thank you, Handy." And so they
didn't call him.
They didn't call him Handy, obviously, but you know what I mean. They gave him like a little cliche name, and. So one of their specials was like a mad scientist or something was taking over the show, and he kidnapped the hand, right? And it's like he would be like, if you want to see what happens, you stay after the show. And at the time, my family they took us to the Serbian Center to learn because I had like school, and then after school I went to another school to learn how to speak Serbian, which I fucking hated, by the way.
Sorry,
Mom, but not sorry. I really did hate going there, and so like. I wanted to see what happened next, but then my mom's like, "Atso, we gotta go to Serbian Center." And I was like, "But Ma, I gotta see what happened to the hand." She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So she, just grabbed me by the ear. It's like, "Let's go." And so like we're done, and I come back, and it's like, "Wasn't that a crazy adventure?" And I'm just crying like,
this was last week.
I have to.
My TV was dope. Why don't they still have VJs on there? Don't they?
I don't have cable TV anymore, so I don't even know.
I don't know.
I get it because on the Fire Stick, I look on it just to feel reminiscent. They always just play like mediocre movies.
Do you think TV is down? Like it's dead now? Do you think people care about like those programs anymore? Like
I think it's just like the main three that people watch. Because everything else, think about like FX that has all those shows on it that people like, or what's the one Walking Dead and Breaking Bad was on?
That's HBO.
AMC.
AMC, like those ones, they're all like you can just watch it later. Like they all have even if they don't have a streaming service, they have a
Walking
website
Dead
where
is dead now, right? Like it's not like
no, they have like 3 other reboot shows, and I think The Walking Dead is actually still going on. They have like Fear of the Walking Dead and then something else.
I remember like at one point.
I don't know how anybody's still watching that.
No,
I remember at one point it was like the show that no one shut up about, but then it was like. Every season that came after, people were just like, "Oh, it's worse than the last. It's getting worse. Why is it so terrible?"
My eye doctor we were talking about it when I went to get my eyes checked, and he was like, "Oh yeah," because he's like, "Oh, when did you stop watching?" I told him like halfway through Negan season, and then he's like, "Oh, me too," but then I just restart watching and it's good again. But I was like, I'm probably not doing that, but cool.
It's like usually it's like it's kind of hard to like want to get back into like I used to watch Supernatural and then I stopped.
I would watch that on and off,
yeah, and then I stopped and then I decided I want to get back, but now it's like they have like 21 seasons and it's just like that's intimidating to like.
Well, it's over now, so you have the rest of your life to watch it.
It's true. I think I liked it. My sister liked it because she thought the brothers were like really hot. So it's like
they're both the one brothers and remember. Walker, Texas Ranger, the Chuck Norris show from the 90s?
Yeah.
The one brother with the longer hair is now, that's in a new show called Walker. It's just a reboot of it.
I kind of miss watching shows with my sister. My sister and I used to watch, me and my sister used to watch Power Rangers in Space together. We were so excited to see.
I love Power Rangers in Space.
That's a really good show. I think she liked it a lot because me and my sister fought. And so like the main villain, the girl, and like the Red Ranger were actually both brothers and sisters. Yeah. And so we kind of like, were like rooting for like the sister and the brother. Another thing we watched together was actually is it Smallville? Yeah, it is Smallville.
The Superman one.
Yeah, we actually loved Smallville. We loved how Lex Luthor was getting close to figuring out like, is Clark Kent like is this like this Smallville guy really like who he says he is? And it's just like. There's the scene where he like gets trapped in like the island and he like becomes a different man afterwards.
There was always an island in the early 2000s shows.
It was really weird, yeah. Like there was always something like
even in Arrow, there's an island. In Lost, they're on an island.
Islands are very good. Like
Lost is an island.
Yeah. No, it isn't. It's purgatory.
I never watched Island, by the way. Is it or Lost?
I never watched it either. I literally started it. I watched it, fell asleep
It's a
for the first
letdown.
episode.
That's what I hear too. People were saying like it's so.
They like in the beginning they just kept introducing all these things, and you'd be like, oh, this is gonna come back in the end at some point, and then it just never
I
did.
heard it's like good until the last episode.
Because it's like it's always like these like there's a vault and it's like there's numbers and stuff and it's like what does it all mean, and then like the fat guy is like it means this or whatever. But anyway, so we gotta maybe like get back to the movie. We're gonna kind
We
of
got caught up on YTV.
I don't mind it. Like it was. I like how we segue like or get sidetracked a little bit. But yeah, we need to get back on track with the.
Why don't we talk about some of the characters, how they look just like they do in the games?
Yeah,
No one does.
I looked up and and they're like for 66 minutes of the movie, Mario and Luigi have swapped color palettes. Like Mario is wearing green and Luigi's wearing red the entire movie until they wear their suits.
Yeah.
So that really pissed me off. It made me so uncomfortable. I was
How'd
like,
they get the suits again?
what?
How'd they get those suits again?
Oh, because they broke into like the Koopa Tower and they were like, we need to disguise ourselves as like they're looking for plumbers, so we have to disguise ourselves. So they dressed
As
up
handymen?
So they dressed up as handymen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so different. They literally still had all their stuff on. They just had different clothes.
I didn't write the movie.
Yeah, man.
Several people wrote this movie.
Everybody knows handymen and plumbers completely different.
Yeah, they look nothing alike.
It's so I don't even understand. Apparently, like they were describing how like they were so knee deep into it. Like it's kind of like me with the taxidermist. You know, it's like they wanted to. They were like, we got to make this movie. They know it's bad. They know that's like as they walk into the room, they see all these like stuffed animals and they feel uncomfortable. But they're
Your
like,
mom watches this, buddy.
oh yeah, well she already knows. She was when I came home that night. She was like, "Did you wear a condom? Yeah. All right. You have a good sleep." All right, maybe cut that part.
No, you said that's a conversation you had.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what you said?
you're into it too deep. So it's just like you might as well go with it at that point. That's pretty much what happened with that movie. They were just like, all right, we already sunk in a lot of money. We're already making.
I don't understand why they made the Koobalings. Was that what they were?
Yeah.
Those two dummies.
Yeah.
Why'd they make them super dumb and then make them super smart? That's not a thing. Like, just make them what they are.
Because they.
Well, why'd they make them people?
No, I understood. I could accept why everyone was people. Because if they're doing the evolve thing, then they evolved them into people, which doesn't make sense because dinosaurs don't evolve into people. Neither do turtles or mushrooms.
Yeah.
But,
And then
but like, I could have accepted that if everything else was okay.
There was supposed to be in the script. Apparently, they cut half an hour of the movie just to fit like. How do movies work, by the way? They have to agree to a certain time, like how much this movie's going to run for.
well, usually the budget determines how long.
Well, apparently they cut half an hour worth of like the movie. A lot of it is being like how at the beginning it's supposed to show that the princess stole like the shard and the egg.
We never hear about her mom ever again.
Yeah, no one. It's not. I thought it would be Princess Peach, but it turns out it's just their mom. There's no like, she just took the egg and her daughter and escaped.
And we never understood why she escaped.
Why?
Well, I'm sure we know why, but they never explain it in the movie.
It's supposed to be like as soon as because
King
Koopa
Koopa's taken
Yeah.
over, but like they never like say that in the movie. And
They
it's a
kinda did.
it's a kids movie. I feel like you're supposed to tell people what's going on.
That's the thing is like, as they were writing this movie, they were changing the script because it was like, okay, this is getting too dark. This is supposed to be a kids movie because there's a lot of adult things happening in this movie, like that nightclub.
Bob Hoskins literally sucks the crystal out of Big Bertha's titties.
Did you know that night scene they actually hired real prostitutes and hookers to be the dancers in that movie?
Makes sense.
So
You gotta support the working girl.
so that's a thing that just happened.
My dad used to had a bumper sticker. Like for like the ribbons that people have like for like support like sicknesses or whatever, like help like whatever. My dad had one and it was all black and blue, and there's a picture of a stripper on a pole, and it said "Support your local lap dancers."
Good.
My dad would pick me up from school with that on the back of his car
I'm very sorry.
while blaring Kid Rock or Nickelback, probably.
There are times where I am
Nice.
jealous that like my friends bond with their parents more than I do. Like, or not bond, I shouldn't say bond, but like have like more things in common. Like they can talk about other things besides work. But at the same time, I'm like kind of like glad that my dad isn't like smoking weed or like.
You don't know that he's on the road a lot.
I don't even want to think what he does on there.
Chances are he's probably doing a lot of pills. That's what my dad told me he did when he was a truck driver.
He just, I don't know. That was another thing too. My dad's truck is broken right now, and he's actually like freaking the fuck out because my mom says that they're not buying a new truck ever. So if it breaks, that's it. He's not gonna work anymore.
Yeah.
And so my dad's like losing his mind because he really just doesn't want to like.
Well, your dad's at the age to retire.
He doesn't want to retire.
I know, but he's at the age where he's gonna have to soon anyway.
Yeah, I worry about him.
How old your dad's? Like
60,
late 60s?
62, 61, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching the movie, and the guy...
Oh, yeah, Bob Hoskins looks just like
Bob
Alex's
Hoskins
dad.
looks just like my dad, like almost a spitting image as my
Yeah.
dad. And it's like...
What else? So there's someone else that we've watched recently that looks like your dad.
I don't know. Like, what
Well,
was it?
we talked about it yesterday, but we watched Karate Kid too, and I said Mr. Miyagi looks like a Japanese version of your dad.
I guess.
Kinda,
Mr. Miyagi's short, man. Like, he's like 4'3".
Well, don't be talking about Mr. Miyagi like that.
I'll kick your ass.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna do the magic. Whoa. Fuck,
Yep. That's for the next video.
yeah.
John's gonna heal Alex live.
Yeah,
You're gonna make my heart 3 times bigger this day.
probably already is. You have a problem.
That's not good. If your heart grows, you will die.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'll just
the
have more.
Grinch died after that movie. The Who's didn't understand medicine. They thought it was good that his heart grew.
Can you talk about the shitty CGI that was in this movie?
Yeah,
Like,
all of it. When he's falling down the... I assume that was supposed to be like what it looks like in a warp tunnel. Or a warp tube or whatever. But it looked really shitty.
It looked like they were trying to make rocks, but it just looked like goo.
Yeah, gooey, like slimy walls.
Yeah.
we're watching the movie, and like, there's a scene where like,
That's when they first go into the world.
yeah. So Princess Daisy gets kidnapped by the Koopalings, and they take her through.
Oh no! Remember this part?
What?
You were like, holy fuck! When they get kidnapped,
That's what I'm getting at. That's
the sand.
That's
Is that what
what
you're talking about?
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Go on
Yeah.
that. I thought you were talking about.
So
the
they take her. They're in the tunnels. They're fixing some pipes, and then the Koopalings steal her, and they take her through the tunnels that leads into like a cavus, or like a
What's the
like,
cavus?
or not a
Crevice.
crevice. There we go. And it's like, what kind of fucking plumbing is this? And so like, and then they hear the echo, and it's like a stone, not a stone. It's like
sand in the ground.
a sand wall or gravel or something. And then they use this CGI to make it seem like, you know how like people are like warping through like a portal or some
Yeah.
shit. It's so bad. Her face is just like it's just some sort of demon from hell.
Well, to be fair, they didn't have like 3D tracking then.
Yeah,
It literally just looked like they had a video of her and they put static. That looked like sand.
there
over
is
it.
good
That's likely what happened.
Yeah, but think about like Terminator 2, how they made that like
They have no excuse. There's so many movies that did way better.
exactly like there's like
Terminator 2 came out the year or two before. Jurassic Park came out the same year.
But what was the budget for Terminator 2?
I assume a lot.
And how many directors worked on
Well, think about it.
2?
Jurassic Park is Steven Spielberg.
Well, you know what? Let's compare
Terminator 2 was James Cameron.
That's what I'm
let's
saying.
compare this price to like say Terminator 2 as an example, because this movie cost $51 million to make. Let's see, Terminator 2. Judgment Day. Terminator 2 came out in 1991.
So 2 years before this.
Yeah, budget. Okay, so it's double the price. 100 million.
Okay, what about Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park budget.
But the Terminator budget for CGI was probably
Well, that
like
was a Spielberg
50.
movie, so that's
Yeah, but
like
that wasn't a... Terminator 2 was a sequel, so Jurassic Park...
63.
So Jurassic Park's only 10 million more than the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, but also, where did the budget go for this movie?
A lot of the animatronics. Did you know that the Yoshi,
Yeah, Yoshi was an animatronic.
Oh yeah, I guess
is
that's
so
Yeah, but okay. But Jurassic Park had animatronics too. It wasn't all CGI.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck.
But-
It only had 10 million more, which probably, in my opinion, all went to advertising for Jurassic Park. That extra 10
a
million.
lot of the money went to the set too, with all those cars and stuff like that, and like
Those are all... I don't know, man.
Yeah, but the cars were all like
Old.
laundry fucking parts.
Yeah. It was just normal cars with laundry parts on it.
I don't know what to tell you, because like I don't know.
Because the set, like, when I say it was Blade Runner, it was. They didn't remake it. That's literally it. And they just added Mario lore shit onto it.
I don't know.
And then on top of it, they had some like product placement, so they had some money.
Yeah, they
coming
had
from.
Evian water and Reeboks at the end. The bomb was wearing Reebok sneakers for some reason. Those are the only two I noticed. There might have been more.
There's
remember how
probably
you said
more.
that this movie does have a Blu-ray release, by the way.
Yeah, I figured that out later last night.
Apparently,
too.
the Blu-ray is such like it's really good
rare.
quality that like the bomb, you can actually see the strings pulling it as it's like walking forward, and it's like
That doesn't piss me off because a lot of old movies that come to Blu-ray and 4K, you can see that.
and but the CGI in this movie, like the scene where like they use those super, what do we call that, super shooter thing, the super scope.
When at the end.
Yeah, where
they were using the Super Nintendo
okay, so
Super
the
Scope.
de-evolved guns were super scopes in this movie, and they used the super scopes to shoot like Bowser in the face, and he turns into this like CGI dinosaur. Like he turns into like a really fucked up looking.
He has like
T-Rex.
8 different looks because he's like warping in. And out
But
of
like they
there.
kept shooting him, so it's supposed to show that he's like almost like de-evolving into like his earlier stages, like how I don't know what their names are, but then it like he just turns into fucking soup.
Yeah, it looks like Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah,
Even though he was purple when he's going down, when he splatters, it's green.
Another thing that was like, you said like why they look like people because like evolution doesn't work like that. There was supposed to be like a explanation that like since they were gonna merge the two worlds, they were wearing masks. So everyone's just wearing human masks because they were getting ready to like merge.
Then what's the point of de-evolving and evolving?
Well, he wants to.
Because
Like,
if he has a mask on and then they de-evolve him to the dinosaur, can he just go, no, I already am one, guys?
he wasn't gonna de-evolve himself.
No, but they did that, I'm saying. So the
And
mask
then
thing
why
isn't
did
in
his
the movie.
face change when they de-evolved?
You saying they were going to do that?
That was the original.
Yeah, they didn't do
idea,
it, though.
but they didn't do it because they're making this. They're changing the script as they're working the movie. Can you imagine like their script being like rewritten as you're trying to like
No, that's shit. And you can tell.
Yeah.
Like in the final product.
You can tell
that
there's
was
a bunch of
garbage.
ideas going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And none of them were canon to the actual fucking game.
Not one
I
thing.
don't think we're trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, here's Big Bertha. Oh, look, it's the Super Scope. But none of it, like, this is what Big Bertha would be doing. This is what you would use the Super Scope for.
What's funny is
Right.
that the Italian version of this movie, the one that came out in Italy, they had to change a lot of things because they're like we can't show them eating like pasta or like spaghetti or something like that. Like the whole ending scene had to be changed because like it shows them eating spaghetti.
That was in the middle, too.
Yeah.
Before they even
They had to
go
change.
in.
They had to get rid of that. So they were like, okay, fuck, we can't like be too.
Mario's a very Italian name. Like, last name.
Mario.
Mario.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's Mario's canonical name is Mario, and Luigi's name is Luigi Mario.
Yeah.
So it's not like Mario's an asshole. It's like we're called the Mario Bros because I'm Mario and you're my bro. Okay, Mario.
I'd almost rather that.
Yeah, me too. How creative. Mario.
Just so much is happening in that movie. That's just like
Yoshi looks stupid.
the directors. They're both a couple, but they are so toxic to each other that they refuse to like communicate with anyone. Like everyone that worked on the set was miserable and drunk all the time while they're trying to like film this movie just to get by through it. You know what I mean?
That's fun.
No, it's not fun. Can you imagine? Like that's. I know people that drink when they go to work. I'm like, if you really hate that job, it's like
Me too.
yeah. There's a scene like, do you remember when like Mario's like he wants to get to like the customer as soon as possible before the Scottoli
Yeah.
brothers or whatever their name are
Yeah.
get there? That scene when they're driving their truck and Luigi's like flooring it and then he presses on the brake fast. The sliding door actually catches Mario's hand
Bob
and
Hoskins?
breaks it. So for the entire movie, he has a cast on. He just painted they just painted it like skin color so he wouldn't know. So he actually had a broken hand during the entire movie.
Awesome. Bob Hoskins probably hated this.
Oh,
Because he was like a big actor.
yeah, he drank the entire time. He says that
I think, I've seen him in an interview talking about that.
yeah. And
Going from Roger Rabbit to the Mario Brothers.
the Yoshi animatronic apparently took 47 people to properly operate it because of how complicated it was.
It literally...
Apparently it was so sophisticated and could make so many different facial features that like it just was. I think a lot of the money went into that thing, and it was just like obviously the money. I think a lot of the money was squandered too, and like some, because I can't imagine like like I said, like it's like $51 million, but where did it go?
Yeah.
It's like I can't.
They reused over half their set. They fucking.
And then the set in the real world is really just shot in New York, I assume.
Maybe those prostitutes and hookers cost a lot of money. Who
for
knows?
the one scene.
We need you to get on the floor. Everyone walk the dinosaur. All right, that'll be 5,000 a second. Like,
Each.
all right, Cristal, whatever you say.
Andrew, what did you not like? You didn't like a lot of stuff, but what's your top?
Got a mouthful of cereal. Thanks for asking.
What kind of cereal?
What kind of cereal?
Eggo cereal.
Well, better not let go of your Eggos.
I'm not. They're right here.
Okay, good man.
Yeah.
They're calling Andrew 11.
There's an infamous story, actually, about this movie. One of the directors, the husband, he supposedly didn't like the costumes. He saw one of the spare. I think they're called sparemen, or just like he's just a spare like Goomba, like a spare
Extra?
Yeah, an extra. There you go. He's an extra. That's the word I was looking for. He didn't like the costume because they didn't look dirty and gritty enough. So he took his warm hot coffee and just poured it on top of the guy. And since it wasn't completely sealed because he wasn't on set, he actually burnt the guy. So he was like going, ooh, like under the.
Were those faces animatronics?
No, like yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
The close up on them, it looks horrible.
So
the Goombas?
No, it wasn't actually a Goomba. It was do you remember like all those background characters that
They
had
called
like
them a Goomba.
they had like masks on it?
Yeah.
So he actually looked like a dinosaur. He had a dinosaur mask on him.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like the shrunken ones. It was actually his face, but a dinosaur mask on top. And so he poured hot coffee on it because it didn't look dirty and gritty enough. And he scolded him, and he just left because he said he's just an extra. So, but then the person that was there was trying to like kind of be like, okay, no, he's not a complete monster. He threw shit and mud at him first because he wanted to like
Shit and
not
mud.
shit. He actually threw mud and dirt at the back
Yeah.
of the guy because he wanted to look dirty and gritty, but it wasn't sticking on him. So he poured coffee on top of that to make it stick on him, and then scolded him as he screamed bloody murder. And then he came back with a cold bottle of water and was like, "I'm very sorry."
That doesn't make it any better.
Yeah.
So a very fun set, guys. Like, would you like to have hot coffee poured on your on your head?
I think it would still be fun.
So I did mention earlier a little bit of what I hated the most about this.
Yeah.
Now that my mouth's not full of cereal. Sorry. But yeah, I just didn't like how nothing was like canon at all. Even Bullet Bill fit in his pocket. That's
This
not
movie wasn't
accurate.
supposed to be canon. It wasn't.
No, but we're saying it should have been, 'cause especially
Yeah.
at the time, there wasn't really, no one really said canon or knew
It
anything.
should've-
should have just been like the movie.
It should
Exactly.
Or the
It
games.
should have been, but when Nintendo sold the rights for like $2 million, they pretty much just said, "Do whatever the fuck you want."
Yeah,
Yeah, and that was a big mistake.
And so after this movie, Nintendo was like, "Never again." And
Until
until now,
year,
apparently,
Now Chris Pratt's gonna be Mario.
which is funny because he makes
Seth Rogen's gonna be.
which is
Donkey
funny
Kong.
because he makes racist Italian tweets all the time.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yes,
Well, why?
I don't know, because he's racist to Italians or something.
And he doesn't like gay people.
Really?
He
Yeah.
goes to a very anti-gay church and supports them with
Why
money.
do you think that like do the people like are just like he's really like racist and gayist or not gayist gays homophobic but god damn it, he rocked the shit out of Star-Lord. Like,
Star-Lord sucks as a character.
really? Well,
Like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, he was okay, but then like when he's just very toxic in the Avengers movies.
he actually, I think it's because he's a very jealous character. So when Thor showed up, he obviously
Yeah.
he has
When Thor cucks him is the best.
he has an inferiority complex. That's what it is.
Yeah, grow up.
Even
Yeah.
though he's literally the descendant of a god, pretty much.
No,
And he had to turn into a Pac-Man to fight his dad.
No, is that guy an Eternal? We don't know yet
No,
because they never mentioned what his dad. Because his dad is like, a Celestial. Because he's a planet, just like a Celestial is.
yeah, and then he formed that like.
But
Human,
then there's trying to say that he wasn't either now.
he's like some sort of like entity. I don't know. He's like his own kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
That movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, reminded me of an episode of the Aladdin TV show.
I actually both like and hate that movie. There's a lot of the scenes.
I liked a lot of it.
Yeah, I liked a lot of what happened in that movie, but I think as a whole, I think I disliked. Like, obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 in my mind is still like one of the best Marvel movies. I think it's up there. It's probably
Yeah.
top 5. but Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had like a lot of like the good charm of the first one, but then it was a lot of things everyone was just an asshole to each other in the second movie.
Someone can be your father, but they can't be your daddy. That's where we get that.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Who's Mary Poppins? Never, he didn't know.
Is Mary Poppins badass? Yes,
yes,
he is.
yes.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Yondu's the best. Rip him. Like,
yeah, honestly.
So you hated that it wasn't canon enough. I hated everything about it, pretty much. I liked that they tried.
The story was horrible and the characters were horrible.
Yeah.
Like, the story didn't make any sense.
Like, you had one of the biggest titles ever, and you just fucked it up.
It made sense in the sense of it has a beginning, middle, and end, but it didn't make sense because none of them really made sense of why any of this is happening.
Yes. Yeah. That's very true. It made sense for the sake of asteroid hit Earth. 2 Earths are now made.
Okay, got it.
One Earth is losing resources and wants to merge with the nice Earth. Needs royal blood and shard of asteroid to do so.
It's like you have royal blood. Just
they turn him into fungus.
Don't turn him into fungus. Turn him back and get him to put it in there.
Yeah, but the shard was still missing, so it's like
go get the shard. You know how many people get chain snatched in New York? Fuck, just go up and chain snatch that bitch.
Yeah, that's true, but it's like to get the shard would be getting the princess in the first place anyway, so it's like
it's New York in '93.
Get shard.
I mean, Luigi got chain snatched later on in the movie.
Yeah.
They could have just did that in the beginning.
Also, another thing, I think I already mentioned that they're not wearing their colored pad, like their Luigi's red and Mario's green. They're twins. They're twin brothers.
They don't say that in the movie. They don't make it seem like they are.
They never say it?
No, they say that Mario took in Luigi and has been his mother and his father his whole life.
His mom.
Wait, really? Actually?
They say he's been like a mother to me and a father to me. My whole life he took me in.
No. He just he straight up just says mom.
Oh, really?
He's like a mom to me.
So they don't explain,
and dad.
They don't really explain much more than that Mario just took in Luigi and has been taking care of him.
I must have missed that part.
You're probably on your phone. Yeah, Bunny knows. Preach.
Thanks, Bunny.
What are you doing? She's going nutty. I'm going to take one more look of my notes just to see if there's anything else I might have missed. Because I think that we covered a lot of that. Oh, I thought what was really funny was that Bowser, the actor, his son.
Dennis Hopper?
Yeah, his son is a fan of the Mario games. And so, like, when his son saw that movie, he asked his father, like, why did you... Like, you're a good actor. Why did you play a part in this movie? And he's like, well, son, that movie is what paid for your shoes. And he was like, Dad, I don't really need shoes that badly.
That's
fucking bird.
That's what I mean. Like, a lot of the actors, not a lot, but like the main 3, I guess, are pretty big actors. Maybe not the time for the guy who played Luigi, but Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper are pretty big actors. Even both of the Koopalings, they maybe not at the time, but they've been in a lot of things.
So let me see. Yoshi needed 9 puppeteers. The facial features, all the things it could do were 60. There were 64 different features it could have done.
Yeah, and they only did 2.
Hot coffee, according to hide strippers. Yeah, we already got that.
We're just going through a checklist, guys.
People were constantly drunk. Broken finger. Yeah. Toxic. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So a lot of, like I said before, like I was saying to John, like looking at the research in this movie was a lot more interesting than actually watching the movie itself.
Yeah, they fucked it up big.
Because there's shitty movies that are good, but this is not one of them.
No.
I don't know if it's because like this came out the year when I was 1 year old, so I don't have really much nostalgia for it. And I didn't watch it till I was an adult. I don't think.
I'd honestly recommend watching this movie if you're really that curious. Like, there's no real reason to watch this other than just curiosity.
I feel like everyone should watch it once to know why this one with Chris Pratt shouldn't be happening.
I'm kind of disappointed I did.
And also, this movie was the beginning of shitty video game movies. Like, after this came the Resident Evil movie. After this came
Street Fighter
movie,
Double Dragon, Mortal Kombat.
What would you say Mortal
Kombat's a good movie.
The first one was good. The second one was shit.
Even if, to be honest, even the first one's not good. It's just good, you know?
Yeah. It's shitty good.
It's the best out of those ones we just listed. Double Dragon's not that bad. Street Fighter's not the worst.
Street Fighter was pretty bad.
Yeah.
we fucking talk. We watched that at Tommy's house.
It's one of those movies that are fun, though. This wasn't fun.
No, it was just bad.
It was not fun. Like you're not gonna get a laugh from this movie.
Literally, the credits came up. We all got up and went home, and I went to bed.
Yep,
Yep, that was it.
pretty much.
I went home and ate and went to sleep.
I went home and it went to bed.
And your mother watches this, Alex. Don't give those eyes.
What would
I'm
you
not
give
cutting
this?
it.
So how many bombs would you give this movie rating?
But I'm wearing Reeboks.
But there you go. Yep,
Honestly, like a 2.5.
very generous.
2.5. Very generous.
Very, very generous.
Honestly, I'd probably just give it a 1.5.
What's that TikTok?
One.
It's like, if I could, I'd give you a 0, but because I can't, I give you a 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I never saw that one, but it's kind of how I feel about this movie. But
I appreciate what this movie is, but I don't like it. Like, I think it's cool that there's a Mario movie from the early 90s that's really shitty.
this movie gets
Then, like, I like, okay. Let's get to some stuff that I like. The set design's cool. I like all the way things look, but it's one of those things, I say this about a lot of movies, but, like, take Mario and Luigi out of the movie looks cool. Like, make it not a Mario movie if that set was, like, just a random sci-fi post-apocalyptic movie about whatever, underground dinosaurs. I probably would think it's cool. But putting the Mario lore into it,
looking
made
at
it
like
shitty.
what some of these ideas were. I really wish they would have stuck with the because I think I briefly talked about like what. So it was like Super Mario and Luigi go to the actual Mushroom Kingdom to save Princess Peach. Bowser is kidnapped Peach because Bowser's like, you have to tell me where the invincibility crown is.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like, you
No,
know,
it could have been. I'm cutting you off because I'm gonna forget what I'm gonna say. Picture, like the landscape of Your Highness. Remember that comedy movie like a few years back?
yeah.
And The Princess Bride. Those movies had a good landscape that Mario could have did. Matt, can you just make a movie that's literally the first game? Mario going in different landscapes for a level fight and shit, but like obviously a story, and then at the end fighting Bowser.
But you have to think like these are people who played Mario like once and were like,
I know, but like literally,
They didn't even play it.
no, they
Somebody
looked at the-
told
they
them a
looked at the
brief
cover.
description of it.
exactly, and then it's like they didn't. They're like, that's good, but we kind of like want to go more like dark. They wanted to go through this whole like dark and gritty kind
like,
of.
there's
like,
a Mario anime I think that came out a few years after this. That's good. Sonic anime is good. Sonic movie, was that good? I still haven't seen it.
fuck.
Yeah, it was
I'm
good.
down for the sequel, man. That looks.
I've
sick.
never seen the first one.
We should. I
I
think,
think
you'd
I'd like it, too.
Yeah.
We should talk about it. It's good.
We'll talk about like. We'll,
That's what he means.
yeah.
Yeah, like another episode.
I'll give it this. I can give this movie probably like a solid 2 though.
Solitude?
Yeah. Just 2. It's whatever. It's obviously shit, but it's like I kind of like.
How many solitudes have you given in your life, you think?
And with
Or less solid than liquid.
All right.
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds funny.
Then that's it for this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, go watch this great movie and check out YTV.
Yeah.
Watch the old bumpers. They're all on YouTube and TikTok.
You have anything to say, Andrew?
Check out our Patreon.
We have a Patreon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a video going on it next week probably.
Yeah.
It's a pretty lengthy basement talk.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we talked for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Unedited, but yeah.
check it out.
Mhm. So I'll put that up probably this week.
Yeah.
And check us out. Give us all your money.
Please.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Basement Talk. This is the podcast where John and I talk.
Today we're going to be talking about the Amazon exclusive.
Do you hear that?
What?
I don't know. It sounds like it's coming from the basement.
Well, my buddy's here.
From the basement?
Yeah,
I'm gonna let
the
them
basement.
So, you know, I'm just going to do this close for you.
Wait, let's split up.
What the fuck? No, that's the first mistake they make in every movie.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
That's how a shotgun works. You just spill it all over.
Whoa. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. We shouldn't go down there though. Nicole, no.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Welcome to Basement Video, bitch.